Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. Thanks for sticking in there. I see people are coming back, which is amazing. I don't know how this thing.
Wow,
Yeah, this is.
that's great.
People are amazing. So, for all the people currently watching, we will go ahead and later splice these two videos together. But Aaron is patient enough with the fact that my internet went out. I hope that doesn't happen again because this is sort of the thing that's connecting me with the world. But we're going to jump back in because we had a great question. I think that was from Miguel, asking why do we study cells? Like, is studying cells important? Why are we focusing on that cellular, that molecular level?
Why study cells?
Yeah,
It's
not
a
to give you
good
an
question.
existential crisis right now, but
I mean, we do have trillions of them, and if we lose some of those, or if they become the wrong thing, it can be bad.
yeah, yeah.
That's the simple answer.
But why not? Why look at this part? Why not just like jump right to tissues or the original Mendelian genetics, the original, Punnett squares, all that really fun stuff people got to do in biology, that was on the full plant level. So
hmm
why do we need to look at cells individually, or is it enough to just have a full animal?
Well, there's this field we call systems biology that's trying to understand things as a whole by integrating things we observe at the kind of micro level, like single cell level, and also at and the whole organism level, for example. So they complement each other, and to understand something really complex, we have to break it down to something simple first and look inside of the cells and see how are genes being used, what are the genes making, and how are they different in different cells.
Okay. All right. So yeah, just kind of breaking it down in those pieces, and I guess there's enough researchers to go around, right? Like we can talk about the major cell level, the full ecology of an entire biosphere, the desert, or drop it all the way
Right.
down to these adorable little brown anoles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Alex came back and says, "No worries, glad you got it back. I've been looking forward to the EvoDevo talk. Like people are literally here for
Awesome.
your content, and same." Um, okay, I do want to. Speaking of people being here for your content, I want to ask some of these questions. So let's see. Okay, we've got some questions. Hela Ayo 7 asks, why do only male mammals require testicular descent, whereas birds don't? And Africarl says, why do males have nipples? Yeah, take a stab.
Oh man, yeah, these are. I don't have good answers for these questions. These are challenging
Oh,
questions,
that's
but I'm
fine.
sure someone out there is looking into these
Oh my
questions,
gosh, I
and
would love for
and I can
someone to
direct you
like,
to them.
yeah, I would love for someone to yell at me on how we got male nipples wrong. That's the dream.
Here's a question: why not?
Yeah, I I mean, I'm used to them. I think I think if there was an absence, I would notice. But I do think a good question though, to because of the evolutionary side and these different things, why do we have pieces that we might not actually need, or why are there differences in these different like external genitalia across different species?
Yeah, so this goes back to Darwin, the theory of evolution, and the mechanism for evolution, which is natural selection. Things that are advantageous, things that give an organism the ability to survive and, more importantly, reproduce, are going to be passed down. These genes are going to be passed down and used for the next life cycle, which is to make more of yourself, basically.
Okay, so basically,
Life finds a way.
life
That's one
finds a
way.
way.
That's one way to summarize it.
Yeah, I mean, all the things that I want to say, all with like word plays, I just don't think I should work on word plays revolving around genitals. So
Oh yeah,
I assume in the field there are some of them. Um,
there are a lot. All the papers published have very interesting, puns in them, and they
oh
are eye-catching.
gosh, do you remember any offhand? Otherwise, I'm gonna just like find them, and all the links are just gonna be spam of puns.
So one of them is talking about chickens. Chickens have very reduced phallus. The males, they have to mate using what's called a cloacal kiss. I know it sounds very romantic, but the male has to mount the female very closely to mate because they have this severely reduced phallus. And so one of the puns is cockadoodle don't for the
No,
chicken. Yeah,
no. Oh my gosh, I'm not okay with that, but it's amazing. I'm like actually very okay with it. I think it's hilarious, but wow, no.
right.
How do you like stay serious in this topic? Like how do you go to conferences and just not giggle the whole time?
I usually don't stay serious. It's just really interesting, a really interesting topic to talk about,
Yeah.
and people are always interested to hear about animal genitalia. You'd be surprised.
Okay, I'm writing down that because yeah, that's a quote. So, okay, but that does bring us to the question that I'm super excited about. That I'm pretty sure everyone who's watching this is the question they wanted you to answer. What is the weirdest animal genitalia, or what are? I don't know if that's plural. Yes. What's going on there?
Did you look through your comments? Did you do any searches about
Uh,
animal
I
genitalia?
did.
I learned a lot. A lot of those I had not known about. So let me tell you that my Google search history is pretty destroyed
Uh-huh.
from doing this PhD.
Uh-huh. Oh my God, you must be on some list. Um, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I was bad, like looking up plague. So okay, yes, I did do some Googling based on the Twitter stuff. If you're not following myself or Aaron on Twitter, you are clearly missing out on some quality animal genitalia. No, so I knew that ducks have a weird situation. I'm just gonna go situation. I can't say it without laughing. Um,
You have to watch a video of the duck penis.
oh
it's
my God, there's videos.
it has to be a video.
I
That's
have.
the only way to
I don't think I.
to learn about it.
No, I. Mm, mm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
Just something out of a horror film. That's one way to summarize it.
I love this. Okay, so when people put in comments in the chat, sometimes YouTube will be like, "Yo, is this appropriate?" And Off Trail
Oh,
Dino said echidna penis, which we will totally show because in this case it is super appropriate. So echidna penises, somebody maybe it was like ferrets. What was it? Maybe ferrets. I know that pigs are weird. Okay, just enlighten us.
I just want to say, beauty is within the eye of the beholder when it comes to genitalia.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hopefully not the eye,
I'm not going to
but
choose what the weirdest animal
God, I
is.
hope no one caught what I just said. Uh, yeah. Okay. So you're not going to choose. What are in your what is the in your searching? Oh man, in your searching, which was the one where you were like, nope, don't want to look at that, don't want to deal with that, would never want to study that.
Oh, in my searching, I don't know. I'm fascinated with all of them. I would want to study all of them. Why not?
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, we've got another one, hyena clitoris. All I'm saying from George.
Yeah, so I want to make a statement here that it's not just the males that have weird genitalia. Actually, hyenas are really weird because they're really aggressive animals, and the females in the population are actually the leaders of the pack. They're very masculine, and they have a pseudopenis, which is actually the clitoris, and that's where they urinate from. That's where they give birth from.
What? Okay,
It's a
wait,
very
wait, 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 wait. What?
yes, and it can get erect as well. And as I said, they can give birth through this clitoris. It can grow, I think, up to like 8 inches. But lots of first-time mother hyenas die from giving birth because it is so traumatic.
Oh my God. Okay, anyone who's watching my face right now, I don't even have to express how I feel. Okay, all right, that's a lot to digest. What,
Yes.
what, what do we consider a penis then? Like, what makes a penis? Where do we draw the line? Because that sounds kind of penisy.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess when you're trying to ask these basic questions, they actually have really challenging, they're really challenging to answer. So
Okay.
I guess a penis is a structure we see in males and can be used for urination, can be used for sex,
All right, and maybe something to
and
do
it's
with like,
external.
yeah, maybe it's something to do with like the gametophytes or things like that, or like sperm, that because Yikes. Okay. Wow. Thank you for that, George. Jesus. There's so many jokes about like. I guess it would be why. Anyway, I'm so sorry. That completely derailed. Okay. Well, that's yeah. And so I guess that was something that I hadn't really thought about. That when we say external genitalia, we're not just talking about the penis, right?
Um, yeah, like the clitoris is considered external. That's in females, so it's external genitalia.
Okay. All right. So there's so many things. Let's see. I think we had one more question. Um, oh, okay. Here we go. Side perspective related to what we were just talking about. When does the glans of a penis stop being a really big clitoris?
Hmm. When is the gland? So that's like the tip of the distal tip or the far end of the external genitalia. And the question was,
Uh,
when does it?
yeah, like I guess it's kind of related to the limbs things, or even with limbs, like when do you decide that it's a limb versus a genital?
Yeah, again, this is a hard question to answer, but um, there's a phase for both of these appendage types and other organs that we call the morphogenesis phase, and that's when it starts to develop specific structures that are important for their actual function. So in the case of limbs, and if we think about humans or other animals that have digits, fingers, this is the morphogenesis phase that happens during development, where we see these separated, 5 different fingers, 5 different toes. And in the case of the genitalia, the formation of the urethral tube is pretty important, and a part of what makes a genitalia genitalia.
Huh, cool. Yeah. So again, all this kind of classification, and Alex says nature laughs at our attempts to classify things and always throws out exceptions. And I think
Yes,
there's
that's what I always say.
yeah, there's a humility associated with being a scientist. So I always end up with this question because I think I could geek out about this all the time because it's so cool. But for you, what are you excited about in this topic? What are you Googling other than apparently animal genitalia? Maybe that's what you're Googling. What are you excited to learn more about with this stuff?
Well, it goes back to one of the earlier questions you asked me, which is, why study the lizard? And I'm really excited about developing this new model system. Reptiles are incredibly diverse, and if you think about developmental biology historically, it's been done very deeply in the zebrafish, in the frog, in the chicken, and in the mouse. So that's amphibian, fish, and bird, and mammal. But we don't have a model to study the 10,000 different species that are present in reptiles. And so recently our lab published this method to do gene editing in lizards, and it was a really big landmark because now we can start to explore all this diversity within the group of reptiles.
Cool. Oh, there's so many cool questions. But with respect to your time and all the things that you need to do as a graduate student, we will say goodbye. Aaron, we've got your contact info under there in terms of your Twitter, your Instagram. Are you comfortable with people reaching out to you there? Are you willing to answer questions?
Yes, absolutely. If you have genital questions, go ahead and ask me. Limb questions, go ahead and ask me, or anything else I study.
Do you understand if I
me.
put that on the internet that I would have to delete all my profiles?
Right, yes.
Yeah, if you have genital questions, ask Aaron. That's not my situation. But thankfully we have Aaron, and honestly, thank you so much for coming on here and being cool with some technical difficulties. It's really awesome to talk to a fellow science communicator, and I'm going to keep an eye on your research, and definitely not going to look up videos of duck penises. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, I might slide that in your DM.
Oh my
just letting you
God.
know.
Oh, wow. That is a type of unsolicited pic. Awesome. All right. Bye, Aaron.
All right. Thanks so much, Susanna.
Sure. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for that episode. Hopefully, you watched me slowly die inside. But actually, that was super great. I really appreciate all the questions. The feedback is awesome. It makes it so much more fun. So again, like, subscribe, follow me around. But mostly, like, let me know who else I should be talking to. And if you slide in with this suggestion that Aaron had of he just sent me this email. I was like, what do we want to talk about? And he was like genitals and limbs. And I was like, pick a date. So if you know somebody else who's talking about cool stuff, weird stuff, awesome stuff, gross stuff, send them our way. And yeah, in the meantime, I don't know, look up videos on the internet, I guess. Check out some animal genitals. Please don't report me for that. Okay, bye.